Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Doesn't matter where you have Cancer in your chart. This may have a message in here for you. So before we get started with the cards, I have a couple of downloaded messages for you. The first one is about Mars and Cancer. So maybe your Mars is in Cancer. It doesn't have to be though. But right now, as I'm filming this, Mars is in Cancer until the beginning of November. And so the energy that is coming through with Mars in Cancer, if you're familiar with astrology, if you're not, that's okay. It's just talking about that Mars in Cancer is not like a very, in astrology they call it dignified. I'm not a fan of that word, of those labels, because it does cast sort of a negative judgment on, anyways, doesn't matter. Mars in Cancer is one where, because Mars is very fiery, it's very action oriented, it's very physical, it's very like passionate and like forward momentum, drive, everything like that. And Cancer is kind of coming in with this sort of opposite energy, which is kind of coming through as being like, instead of going out to go pursue things and do things, it's actually coming through as being like, retreating back into your comfort zone. So that's sort of what's coming through with the Mars in Cancer, of like this energy of retreating back into your comfort zone, which I feel like is helping with all of sort of the other like retrograde energies coming through to like reconnect with things that maybe you have become detached from, or like especially emotional energies, like emotional comfort zone, right? Like what makes you feel safe, and things like that. There's also this energy that I was receiving about like how emotions can become stored in the physical body. And so there's a couple of things coming through with that. First of all, for like women, usually that happens in like the hips, because the hips in women are like the center of gravity for women. And so emotions can get stored there. I've heard a lot of sort of anecdotal stories about like women who go to like Pilates classes or yoga classes or whatever. And during like the hip exercises, when they open up the hips, they just start crying, right? Like things like trauma being stored in the hips in particular. For men, I feel like it's in the shoulders. So take that if it resonates. There may be some emotional energies that are sort of being stored in particular areas of your physical body that may be asking for attention at the moment, like tending to your emotional health and things like that, but in particular how that relates to your physical body. Okay. There's more that was supposed to come through with that message. Oh yes, okay. So especially in terms of pain, right? If you are experiencing any sort of pain in the physical body, that could be showing you potential areas in your life that need to sort of go through like an emotional release, is how it's coming through. I'm going to leave that like that. And another message that I was receiving is that there is emotional relief arriving for you. If you have not received that already, it's like there's emotional release happening, is how it's coming through. Release or relief, both. The image that I was receiving is kind of like if you have like leaves in the gutter of your house. and I was sort of, and like it sort of like backed up is kind of how it was coming through. So some area in your life, there's kind of like something that's needing to be released, but at the moment it's backed up by the dead leaves, right? That's sort of representing like some sort of pain or perhaps like an emotional trauma or something that's still sort of clogged in one of your energy centers. And and what was coming through is that there was like it's a blockage, but at the same time it's leaking. Because if you imagine like if there's like a heavy downpour and then water sort of trickles down through the gutters or whatever it's called. I don't think that's the right word. You know, in the house. What I don't know what it's called. Anyways, it's simultaneously a leak and a blockage. And so in order to solve that problem, you actually have to clear the blockage, right? Because then the leak also disappears. Things start flowing more smoothly. So that's arriving. I feel like it required sort of like a big flow of energy in order to release that. So for you, it might be emotional. It might be an emotional, energetic wave that unblocks the gutter or whatever word you want to put there, that is also providing relief in some way. Okay, Cancer. That's sort of the downloaded message. I'm gonna pull cards for you. I feel like there's something else, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, this I feel like is specific to like one person. It's kind of like there's something about you, as a metaphor, receiving keys to a car before you have your license is how it's coming through, metaphorically. So it's kind of like you're receiving something, but you don't yet maybe feel like you have the qualifications to drive that vehicle safely, that kind of thing. I feel like that's a fear, though, or something that you're fearful of. Like, on some level, I feel like it is a gift from the universe is how it's coming through. Like, you're receiving something, such as keys to a brand new car or whatever, before you feel that you're ready for it. But the universe never gives you anything that you're not ready for, so it's coming through like that for somebody. I'm going to just leave that there, though. So, for Cancer, what messages want to come through? The mindful groupthink. Okay, I'm going to pull the other cards and then we'll see where that goes. I feel like you have a lot of like competing interests at the moment is how it's coming through, Cancer. You have a lot of different sort of priorities is how it's feeling, or like different things that you're trying to focus on. But again, it's coming back to your comfort zone emotionally. I feel like there's something important about like the comfort zone. The emotional comfort zone is providing a sense of relief, and that it is clearing out a blockage that perhaps has something to do with like this energy of groupthink, of like what other people want from you, what other people desire or their intentions and that kind of thing, that maybe we're putting a lot of I don't want to say pressure, but feels more like build up, like dead leaves in the gutter, right? Like you gotta clear that out is how it's coming through. And I feel like getting back to your emotional comfort zone is helping to do that. and focusing on what it is that makes you happy. Because this card talks about as well, like focusing your energy on what you want to bring more of into your life, because you can never really ever get rid of everybody else's energy, right? You wouldn't want that either, because that would be an extremely lonely existence. But what this is coming through with is like, yes, there are a lot of energies around you, a lot of other people's stuff, but to focus on the things that you want to manifest more of in your life. There are these like kids books called I Spy that I used to have as a kid. I Spy, like it would give you, it was like this whole like collage, like an image of like it was a scenery basically, but made up of little miniature objects and things like that. Like it was so intricate. There were so many like little details sort of hidden in this scenery. And then at the bottom of the page, there was a little riddle that told you what it is to look for, right? Like they give you clues, like find, like, I don't remember obviously the exact phrasing, but it was like there are 32 seashells. There are little toy trains or something like that. And you would have to find the little things in the picture as an I Spy energy. I actually feel like that's, whatever this riddle is, that's sort of representing perhaps like your intuition or your communication with guides and spirit and universe, whatever phrase you want to put there. That's sort of like the riddle, right? The thing that you need to solve. And they're actually drawing your attention to specific things in the environment for you to focus on. And when you focus on those elements, it actually helps to clear the blockage, or like to like find some sense of order within something that's like quite chaotic, is how it's feeling. The number 40 is coming through. It's coming through like 4 and 0. Yeah, Fool's Embrace. Transmuting pain. Yeah, there's an energy of pain here. And then the Joyful Muse. Interesting, because you have 33 and 22, right? And it's 333 on the clock as I said that. Which is interesting, because this is, in order to fit the pattern, right? This should be 44, is kind of how it's feeling to me. But it's 4 and 0. Meaning I feel like there was, again, like something was blocked or something. Because for some reason I'm seeing it like a tennis match. Oh, the way they keep score in tennis is so annoying. It's like 4 and 0. Like someone scored 4 points. The other didn't have a chance, is how it's coming through. But I feel like that's where the blockage is, which is interesting. Okay. I'm going to read the Transmuting Pain. See, at the bottom of the deck, you have this overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. And that's 43. So I feel like there is this energy here of like catching up. Something is catching up, but I feel like it's also evening out, right? There's an energy of like evening it out. You're getting closer to 44 or whatever that is. Okay, what was it? 22. Transmuting pain, allowing life to love you, experience of both and. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We're kept hostage by the way we identify with the pain and what we make it mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. No matter where on the spectrum of pain you find yourself now, whether it be mild disappointment or searing loss, it's time to make peace with it. Befriend it rather than resisting it, running from it, or judging it as bad or unfair or hostile. Can you see the gift that is here? Surrender to the fool's embrace, allowing the truth to envelop you in love and compassion. What if you can learn something amazing from this? What is truly yours will not pass you by. Something better and perfect for you is waiting elsewhere. If you could come to terms with the liberation and freedom inherent in loss, your broken heart might open you up to a greater sense of humanity and compassion. As in the narrative of tarot, the fool will be at the beginning of your life's adventure and at the end when you've integrated all the wisdom you've accumulated along the journey. He will never let you down or lie to you. He will, however, teach you how to revel in both the beauty and desperation of life. Both and, this and that, will always be true. Remember, the pearl can't be created without the gritty sand causing discomfort and acting as a catalyst in the oyster. Your pearl is discovered in radical acceptance that everything has value. All is well now and will be well. Remember that today as you feel the fool's embrace. Sorry, I was chuckling to myself because at the bottom of this page is 44. There's the 44. That's the thing that is missing. It could be something to do with stability, but I feel like it's just coming through with like the answer to leveling something. Like it's like coming through as like, because with this card, it's kind of like there was an influx of emotion that was necessary in whatever it was that you were dealing with, is kind of how it's coming through, and trying to bring the water level up is how it's feeling. And the answer to that is through this, the transmuting pain of accepting it. It is part of life. You just have to accept it. That's just how it's coming through. It has to be accepted. But then what you have next here is the joyful muse inspiration, because this card also talks about that, like, it comes out when things feel dark or difficult or tricky, but that there's always something to sort of like help, because I feel like the energy of inspiration is coming through as being an instrument to transmuting pain, because this because this talks to me about like creativity, right? Like doing something creative and art in whatever form it is for you, like music, painting, drawing, whatever, laughing, can be a way in which to transmute pain, right? To take your pain and create something inspirational from it. So I feel like that's how it's coming through today for you. Perhaps you are in the process of that. So if you are doing that, like, keep doing it, is how it's feeling to me. Because that's adding more water, so to speak, to clear out whatever has been cluttered up in an area of your life. Like it's cleaning it out through creating something, through connecting with something that inspires you. I feel like there's also this energy here of like being a little bit messy, like not even a little bit, could be a lot messy, like just needing to make a mess, perhaps, like embracing chaos or something, because you can always clean it up, right? That's how it's feeling to me. But maybe somebody just needs to like splash a bunch of paint around or something or like do something like where there's no restriction on how you express yourself in whatever way that is. It's like kind of just like letting something go within your body, it feels like. But yeah, maybe somebody needs to like dance or something like that, or like do something like creative with their body in some way. Okay. And here with the Fool's Embrace, right? Like, because the way that this body is sort of scrunched up, it's like all this energy here in the hips and in the shoulders, which feel really like tense. Yeah, okay. Manifesting dreams, water, thicket of thorns, uncertainty. And then you have Mystic Meadow, Sanctuary. You have this 43 again coming out. Uncertainty and overwhelm. Hummingbird Spirit, Joy. There's 22. That's so interesting. Okay, so you have bottom of the deck for both of these decks. You have 43 and 22. And then the two middle cards in your spread are 43 and 22. That's a synchronicity if ever I saw one. That's okay. So it's coming through with like, I'm going to read the 43 because that's significant. Maybe I also have to read 22. Okay, uncertainty. When we talk about something that is thorny, it means that it is difficult or challenging. If it feels that you're stuck in some area of your life, you're right. When you're truly uncertain about what direction to take, be still. Do not struggle to get ahead, as you'll only immerse yourself in even deeper in the briars. The first step to move forward is to acknowledge where you are. Instead of asserting that you're not stuck, accept the truth. The universe desires your success. It only requires that you wait until the path is ready for you. Acknowledge the truth of the situation, wait until you have a clear direction, then slowly and methodically take action. In the fairy tale Sleeping Beauty, an impenetrable thorny hedge surrounds a sleeping princess, the royal family, and everyone in the castle. For 100 years, many princes tried to make their way to her through the thicket, but to no avail. Finally, a prince passed, and the thicket opened for him, as he was able to find the princess with ease. The message here is to trust in divine timing. The prince is triumphant because he appears at the right time. When the time is right, everything falls into place. That's this energy of like not pushing forward with a lot of fire at the moment. It's not because it's not in alignment for some reason. I feel like whatever this period of time is actually to be within your emotional energy at the moment, to like clear something. It feels like, especially with this water spirit manifesting dreams, like to get really clear on your dreams and what it is that you want to manifest. That's how it's coming through. So it's feeling less of like a pushing forward kind of energy. It's more like staying still, accepting where you are, not trying to solve anything, just getting clear on what it is that you want moving forward is how it's feeling. Okay, I'm gonna read. Okay, I'm gonna read 43 from the other deck, which is the overwhelm, the overflow. Too much, overwhelm, and plenty. So many good things are headed your way and are already occurring in your life right now. yet you may be thinking that they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it, defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love. Opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams around... Okay, that's not a proper... Opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. Sometimes all this overflow can be overwhelming, and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune into the collective angst and fear about impending changes and uncertainties. It's unmanageable. You feel like you're drowning in those emotions. It's time to allow yourself to detach, bring yourself back to your life, restore your faith in a power greater than you, and remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, which is much easier to manage. In this way, you know that you are a conduit for life's blessings and can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. Okay, so that's coming through like this here, right? Like the group think, the water spirit manifesting dreams, and the overflow. There may be sort of like it is feeling like Cancer, the guidance for you is to retreat from, or like emotionally at least, like having very strong energetic boundaries between you and others, especially when it comes to manifesting something that you want, because right now it feels like there's uncertainty, or there's like some sort of like painful experience that you're working through at the moment, having to release it or work through it or transmute the pain into something that I feel like, because this Mystic Meadow, the sanctuary, that also feels very much like home, right? Which is the house that Cancer rules over. Because you have a lot of 2, 4, 6. A lot of those energies coming through, which are all very stable numbers. I feel like you're being asked to sort of focus on your stability in whatever that means to you. Perhaps emotional stability. Like, it's coming through with like 9 of Cups energy. Like what makes you happy, what makes you feel safe. And if you're not feeling like that, if there is something that's like thorny or painful, accepting that, not trying to change it, not trying to push through it, not trying to like avoid it or whatever. It's like not being aggressive with your pain. Just sit in it and accept it. Yeah, the 7 of Wands. This has been coming through with sort of like this energy of overwhelm. Like, because I see this as being sort of like being blinded by light, which has been coming up a lot in the readings. Another way that this is sort of coming through is being like, I feel like there is actually something really, really positive that the universe is trying to give to you here with the overwhelm and plenty. There's an abundance of positive things the universe is trying to give to you. But right now feels like perhaps like your focus is so narrow in terms of like only seeing one way out of this thicket of thorns, right? You're only seeing one way through, when perhaps that's not the best way for you to do it, is how it's feeling. There's another way that's coming in. Like, it's kind of like a different path has been in the process of opening up. And you have been seeing signs and clues of that in the form of riddles from the universe. Your intuition has been telling you there's another path opening up. Stop trying to go that way. Instead, you should look somewhere else, is how it's feeling. But maybe there's been resistance about that with the Seven of Wands, right? Because this can be an energy of defending your position. It's like there may be sort of this energy of like having a really narrow focus about I want to go down this path. This is the only way for me to get out. This is like the only thing that I can do at the moment. And the universe is saying, no, it's not that way. It's not that way. And I feel like whatever it is that is the path for you, right? It's almost like it's so bright that you can't see it. It's blinding you in whatever way it is, like the Seven of Wands. Because it could be something where it's like really outside of your range of experiences, or that it's like something that you thought was impossible, right? So if your mind is saying, oh, that's impossible, that's not realistic, that's whatever, all of these sort of negative judgments that restrict your way of thinking, of course you're not going to see the options because you're saying that's not possible. I can't even see that as an option. And that is an option, is how it's going through. There's an option that you're not seeing because it is outside of a very narrow focus that you've had. The Hanged Man, yeah. The Hanged Man, you need to see things from a different perspective. I feel like it has to do with this. The inspiration in the Mystic Meadow Sanctuary. Because I feel like it's something here where it's like, you have here the thicket of thorns, right? You have a deer and a butterfly, which are coming through as being like really positive signs and synchronicities, right? These are like things that you trust inherently. Those are like whenever you see a particular sign for you that might represent like a good thing, I should go this way, that kind of thing. But what's interesting is that these signs here, these symbols, rabbit, a white rabbit, a fox, a bear, might actually feel like signs that you don't trust, right? Like, or things that where it's like, these signs feel a lot more uncertain, or they don't instill a sense of trust for you, is how it feels. It feels risky to move in this direction when you know, okay, the butterfly and the deer are positive signs and I'm going to follow those because I know that they will lead me to the right path. These ones, not so much, but I'm feeling like this is the way that you're supposed to go. Interesting. You need a new perspective on something. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man also talks about like a pause, an intentional pause in whatever it is that you're doing in order to gain a new perspective on something. Taking yourself out of the game and it's almost like putting yourself on the bench, right? Like you need to take yourself out of whatever situation is causing this overwhelm. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. There's that overwhelm. Look at these two cards together. Like it, so you have like 4-3-2, right? Very significantly. Nine of Swords. It could be overwhelmed by fear. There could be this energy of overwhelm of fear. Or like darkness. So you know when you're like in the house by yourself and it's the middle of the night, right? Like there's this sort of energy of like imagining that there are things in the shadows kind of thing. That's how it's looking to me. And feeling like it's just this unsettledness, like expecting like a jump scare, right? That's how it's feeling. But that I feel like that's actually coming from again with the Fool's Embrace, right? Look at the position of these. It's like all your muscles are tensed, expecting some sort of jump scare, it feels like. That to me is coming through as being like I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not psychology, yes, but not psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist, any of that. But it does feel like, just through my personal experience, like things like your nervous system feels like it's on high alert 100% of the time, right? There's never, even when it's sort of like a rest, even when it's like peaceful or restful, there's this energy of like, what if, and what if something jumps out at me in the shadows? That it's that kind of energy. So there may be some, because that's kind of like it feels like for somebody, there's an energy here of like your nervous system is over flooding with adrenaline all the time when you don't need that to be true. Or you don't need that adrenaline in wherever it is you are now, right? It's like expecting danger when there's no danger. So that's why it's important. Like, I feel like that message of like coming back into your body is really important. I personally, because I have gone through an experience that's similar to this, I probably wouldn't phrase it as being as intense as whatever this energy is. However, what did help me with that energy of like having your nervous system constantly alert, what helped me was doing like yin yoga, right? Like not any sort of like physical activity that's more stimulating, because that makes it worse. It's more so like learning how to like relax your nervous system, right? Like doing things that are like calming and peaceful. And yin yoga, yin for feminine, right, could help to sort of calm that down. Like it's something to do with like the vagus nerve. Like I can't remember if it's parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous system. Whichever one that is, that helps you to become calm, that helps you to sleep, that helps you to relax, that kind of thing. That's what is needing to be worked with in this case, is how it's feeling to me. Even if you're not in a period of lack at the moment, right? It could be that right now, because so far there are no like, this is a heartbreak that is present and active in your life. Like you're not currently going through something that's devastating, is how it's feeling to me. But the pain and the memory of a trauma from the past is still stored within your body. And it feels like there's like your body feels like there is still that threat that you have actually removed yourself from. So it's kind of coming through as being like having to clear out that energy that's within your nervous system. I'm feeling hips very strongly for someone. Or at least like the lower half, like starting from solar plexus down is how it's coming through. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles with the Sanctuary. It's talking about nurturing yourself. Okay, that's interesting because I was saying solar plexus down, right? There's something here about like there's a pentacle here when you release that energy that's stored there, which is really interesting. Perhaps you have to, because Mars is a very like outward expression kind of energy, right? It is a masculine energy. So I feel like there's something where it's like if you're releasing this pain, it actually has to be like projected out of your body in some way through perhaps art or whatever the Queen of Pentacles is for you. It could be like nurturing something or growing something, perhaps in a very physical way. But I do feel like there's an actual physical creation that comes out of this experience. Why is there resistance towards the Mystic Meadow? Why is there resistance towards the inspiration? High Priestess. And the Emperor. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. Six of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Why is there resistance and you get 4 major arcana? Because it feels big. It feels like, well, you have Emperor and Empress, High Priestess and Wheel of Fortune. A lot of change. Okay, I need one more. I can't, like, when there's like just major arcana, I have no idea what to say about that. It's like something that you can't put into words with the High Priestess. It's not something that you can explain even if you tried. Maybe it's like whatever the resistance is feels like it's something to do with like not being able to like properly explain what it is that you're feeling. Sometimes you just can't explain with words, honestly. Like it's just not, you can't explain it. It's heavily dependent on personal experience and interpretation. Two of Cups, Seven of Coins. Okay. There is something for you. This is the option that you're not seeing, is how it feels, because it's outside of your range of experiences and it's so bright that it blinds you. It's like, this can't possibly be what I think it is how it's feeling. But it is but it is, because you have all of this, like, and I feel like there's something here about like a significant relationship, right? I'm just going to leave it like that. It's a significant relationship. Emperor, Empress, Two of Cups, counterpart energy. And that on some level you are being prepared for it with the Seven of Pentacles. This card talks to me about preparation. Your range of experiences is not sufficient, is how it's coming through. I should rephrase that. It's not sufficient enough to express what it is that this path is going to be for you. Oh, nose. So itchy. Okay. The Star. And the Sun. The Star and the Sun. Well, it's this kind of energy, right? The Star, which is at night, the Sun, which is during the day. It's like, because I sometimes see this card as being like when you go to a movie theater during the day and then you come out and it's still daytime, right? Like it's going from like night to day. From night to day. So something that was really bright during the nighttime, if you got accustomed to the nighttime, the darkness, and you adjusted to this being your light, right? The star. But then you suddenly go into daytime and everything's brighter, but it's blinding. It's this kind of adjustment that I feel like you're making. You're going from night to day. In the night, perhaps your eyes adjusted to the night. Is how it's feeling. Your eyes adjusted to darkness. You were only being guided by a star. But then you're moving into the sunlight and the adjustment period for that is like really drastic is how it's feeling to me. And it may actually be painful in some ways. Which is interesting because it's like this generally would be a positive transition, and it is that's how it's coming through. It's a positive transition, but because of like where you started, the relative difference in lighting, for example, it actually is causing pain at the beginning is how it's feeling because the light is so bright, right? It's your eyes have to adjust to it. Eight of Pentacles. I see this card as an impossibility becoming reality. Something that you thought was impossible is coming into reality is how it's feeling to me. There's this artist named Escher. Well, people have probably seen his drawings. I think their drawings. I don't remember if it's a male or not. I think it's a he. Anyways, Escher, where he does sort of like these optical illusion kind of things. There's one that I'm seeing where it's like there are fish, repeated fish, and then gradually as it goes up, the fish start morphing into birds. I don't know what it's called, but that's sort of how I'm seeing this, where it's like you're moving from one medium or one environment into another, and there's a transition that feels kind of uncomfortable or perhaps actually painful in some way, or is getting your nervous system like activated in a way that's really uncomfortable. Because it's like you're half fish, half bird. Or whatever, metaphorically. Like it's like in the middle. It's not quite one yet, and it's not quite the other yet. Okay. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is... It's so interesting. Okay, so you have mostly Major Arcana, and then you have 7 of Wands, 2, 8, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. So mostly Pentacles here. There's something in your physical reality is being shown to you, being prepared for you. This one I always see is like legacy or building materials or something that you will pass down to future generations. This 10 of Coins. And 6 of Swords. Yeah. 6 of Swords. It's... If you're not yet feeling the emotional relief of this painful transition, you will be soon, is how it's coming through with the 6 of Swords. It's going to move much smoothly from now on. It's going to move much smoothly from now on, but you have to be facing the right direction, right? If you try and push forward in a way where it's like you're trying to push forward through the thorns, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. As soon as you turn towards the thing that you're supposed to be turning towards, though, 6 of Swords, everything moves smoothly. Relatively, right? It's there. I'm not gonna say there's gonna be no bumps in the road, but it does feel smooth relative to what, like, whatever it was you were trying to push forward with. Excuse me. 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Focus on your emotional well-being. I feel like there are things that are still needing to be released, it feels like, or if it's not pain or things like that, it feels like you have to do something with the physical environment in some way. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because my nose is not permitting me to continue. So I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.